Welcome to the Tipping Point Show. Today we have a short clip for you. Now this is from our subscriber-only content. We're going to show you this clip right now. If you want to see the entire show, go to endtimes.com, sign up for $7 a month. The heading here is 210 Democrats vote against bill requiring medical care for babies born alive after abortion attempt. This is Wednesday, January 11th. This came out. Now, this is unbelievable. I mean, I think we talked about the state that voted for this and how unbelievable it was. This is all but 2 Democrats voted for this. It says nearly every House Democrat on Wednesday voted against legislation that will require immediate medical attention for babies who are born alive after an attempt was made to abort them. The House passed the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, which says any infant born alive after an attempted abortion is a legal person for all purposes under the laws of the United States. Doctors would be required to care for those infants as a reasonably diligent and conscientious healthcare practitioner would render to any other child born alive. The bill passed 220 to 210. All of the 210 of the no votes came from Democrats. Only one Democrat voted for the bill, Representative Henry Cuellar of Texas, and one other Democrat, Representative Vicente Gonzalez of Texas, voted present. And let me skip down here. It says Democrats overwhelmingly rejected the bill. Some, like Representative Jerry Nadler, Democrat of New York, argued that the bill would set up new requirements that would directly interfere with the doctor's medical judgment. Now, any doctor performing an abortion doesn't have any medical judgment. Let me say that right there. And dictate a medical standard of care that may not be appropriate in all circumstances. In all circumstances, you might not want to save a child like that. He and other Democrats said the requirement to eventually take infants who survive abortion to a hospital may not be in the best interest of the family. Well, first of all, that family is there to get an abortion. So we're not going to really take their best interest at heart. We're going to take the best interest of that poor little child that they're trying to abort. Representative Suzanne Bonamici, Democrat of Oregon, also cast the bill as an attempt to ban abortion and said it is extremist, dangerous, and unnecessary. Representative Mary Scanlon, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, says she opposes the GOP's grotesque attempt to politicize abortion care and criminalize doctors. And it just goes on and on that they're trying to demonize this bill. So first of all, let me say thank God for the Republicans. And I try not to make this, a partisan show, because I know that there are Republicans and Democrats that watch this. This is evil. This is evil. It's evil to abort children, period. I know some of you have, had abortions in the past and you repented and God forgives you. God forgives. God's a gracious God. But abortion is evil, to kill these little children. But how much more evil to botch the abortion and you have a viable infant laying there. There are many people alive today, very good adults that survived abortions. And so imagine this baby is laying there, and what the Republicans are saying is, if the baby survives the abortion, you need to take care of it. If there's a viable infant there, you need to give it medical care. The Democrats are saying, let it die. Either kill it or let it die. And I'm saying that's evil. And to every Democrat that voted for that or voted against that, you're going to stand before Jesus one day and you're going to give an account for that, and there won't be that little smile on your face and you won't be able to talk yourself out of it like you do right now. Slick talking politicians. This is evil. What you did is evil, and you should be ashamed of what you did. But this is the moral free fall. When you have 210 politicians that go on record of doing something like this, it's never happened before in my lifetime. Abortion's bad enough, but something like this is unbelievable.